As you click it back in?
Yes, it's in the phone.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, the Truthful, and the Most Just. I greet all of you once again who are hungry and thirsty for Allah's righteousness. I greet you all with the greeting words of peace. May Allah's Salam Alaikum. There's something that I learned back in elementary school. It was a story of a little boy who cried wolf. And I'm probably going to change it a little bit, but the fact is that the little boy lived in a village. This is one of Aesop's fables. It's a parable of sorts. It's a story that is fictitious to teach a lesson that is something that parents try to teach their children from a young age. The village, it was a village full of people, and they were farmers, and they raised sheep. And so this little boy, one of the little boys, one of their children, he, whenever a wolf or something came around, whoever saw it was to give the alarm. And the whole village, the men of the village would come running. And so this little boy, he decided that he would have some fun. And he cried out, "Wolf, wolf!" And all the men of the village ran, and the little boy started laughing when they got there to where he was. And they discovered that he was playing a joke. And he told him, "You should not do that." And so he said, "Okay," but they went back, and he did it again. After a few weeks, "Wolf, wolf!" And all the men in the village came running. And he laughed again. And so they fussed him out again, and time went on. And a few weeks later, he did it again. But this time, it really was a wolf. But when some of them said, "Oh, that's just that old boy playing games again, playing a joke on us again," so they didn't nobody show up. And the moral of that story, the wolf got him, by the way. The moral of the story is that if you get a reputation of lying, even when you do finally tell the truth, no one will believe you. So that's why we are so hard on liars. We don't like our children lying to us. If I can't trust what you say, then I don't want you around me. This is in the Holy Scriptures too. And if I could find it, it's not something that we take lightly. When people lie, there's an old saying: if you will lie, you will steal. And if you will steal, and somebody catch you, you will kill. And we've seen that reality with people who rob banks, people who go off and steal things. If they trying to steal or rob a bank, if the police come, they try to kill the police. They try to kill if they break in your house and you happen to come in there and catch them, they will kill you if they can, because you caught them. So don't get in the habit of lying. You know, lying is one of the most serious charges that you can accuse someone of. The whole universe is against liars, because the universe is created. Everything that you see around you, tables, chairs, grass, trees, horses, cattle, cars, airplanes, everything that you see around you, the fish in the sea, the fowl of the air, it was all created with truth. It was made with truth. A lie is against the universe. You remember I told you one of the first signs of manhood is to be truthful, own up to what you're responsible for. Take responsibility. That means tell the truth about what you're responsible for doing. I didn't tell you you got to go around here confessing to devils and all of this kind of stuff. You know, but if I'm going to come before judgment, then I need the truth to be on my side. Do you understand? You got judges that will, when you plead guilty, and keep them from having to go through all of that rigmarole when you know you're guilty, the judge, he takes that into consideration. And he will say, well, since you didn't try to put the court through unnecessary stuff, I could have sentenced you to this, but I tell you what, son, I'm going to do this for you. Do you understand? Because you was truthful. You know, look, if you thought it was worth doing
then let it be because you thought you truly was right. Not because you knew it was a lie and you was pushing a lie, trying like these people on January the 6th. All of them knew it was a lie. All of them. There's not a one of them that believed that that election was fraudulent. Just like it wasn't no white people in that crowd that was talking about lynch that nigger that thought that he had raped a white woman. They knew that man had raped no woman. They knew it. But their excuse was to accuse him of that so they could justifiably murder him and terrorize others who were standing there afraid and watching. You don't hear me sitting up here trying to back up off of nothing I'm teaching. You asked me about what I'm teaching. You said the white man is the devil. Yes, the white man is the devil. You want to hear my scriptural reference for that? When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own little white lie. Because he's a liar and the father of it. We didn't put no truth in him. Why you think you got all these false religions out here? Because no one knew the truth about the Bible, so they just made up something. Now the truth has come, and you don't see no preacher, no imam, no rabbi, no bishop, nobody claiming to have authority to come in here and argue with me about scriptures. There's your proof that he knew he was lying. And everybody who had it knew they was pushing a lie. Everybody knew it ain't no Santa Claus, but every Christmas, here comes Santa. Everybody knows. And they call that a little white lie. A little white lie is a lie that ain't harmless. There's no such thing as a harmless lie. Because it makes lying fair seeming. It makes it seem like it's nothing wrong with telling other than the truth. As long as you don't see no immediate harm in it. The harm is that you have decided that it's okay to lie. So I say to all of my children, don't you ever lie to me or to us. If you thought enough of something to do it, be enough to own up to it. You know, it's not being wrong that is the biggest problem. It's not repenting of your wrong. That's the big problem. Once you find out something is wrong, it's no sense in saying, well, I did it because this or I did it because of that. Well, if it's wrong to do, then don't do it at all. You understand? So, I want to I like to find things to show them to you. I want to
think it's in Psalms. This is the 101st chapter of the book of Psalms. And I think I will, David told you, I remember when I was growing up, my dad, that was one of the things he hated the most, was a liar. If you lied to him, you toyed with him. But anyway, this is the 101st chapter of Psalms. It says, I will sing of mercy and judgment unto thee. O Lord, will I sing. I will behave myself wisely in a perfect way. Meaning in every deed and action that we do, you remember what Solomon said? In all your ways acknowledge him and he will direct your path. Because as you bounce it off of him, you get the best guidance on what you're about to do and the way to do it. Do you understand? And it says, O when wilt thou come unto me? I will walk within my house with a perfect heart. Well, all of the prophets wish that they, as Jesus said, many prophets and wise men wish that they could have seen the things that you see and have not seen them, and to hear that which you hear and have not heard it. But you are in the day of the Lord himself, not in the day of somebody who the Lord's Spirit is on, but the Lord himself. And the problem with people, I've had people that was with me for years that got so familiar that they started saying that, well, the Son of Man ain't nothing but a man. As though, how do you say but a man? Do you know something? Do you know something equal to man? That's right, go call it back. If you know something equal to man, other than another man, I'd like you to point it out. So for you to say that I'm nothing but a man, it shows that you don't think too much of your own self. For you're part of man. There's no creature on earth that man does not have dominion over. There's nothing. Are you aware that man is the only one who can go out of the atmosphere of the earth? All these other creatures are stuck here. We're not. There's much that you need to understand. When you understand even the word man, you know that it means to take charge. To take charge. That's one of the, when you take something, it's because nobody has power to stop you. Do you understand? In one sense, that's what that means. In another sense, it means someone handed you something and you took it out of their hand. Let us make man in our image after our likeness and let them have dominion. Well, he taking it from me and he taking it from me. Well, we let him take it. And if we going to let him take it, then that's all right. Huh? That's what the messenger told me. We let these young races of people, brown, yellow, and white, we let them take dominion. And we told them how long they would have it. And we told them that behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord, before the Sabbath day, the day of judgment. That's the great and dreadful day. Because you see people now didn't take it seriously, and now they're losing their mind. That's the death that everybody should want to shun.
Because I don't care what you have. I don't care what you're doing. It's like that billionaire that killed himself in jail. He killed himself before that. When he chose to go down the path that they caught him going down, he had already committed suicide. The wages of sin is death. So when you elect to do things that God instructed you not to do, you are committing suicide. So, I mean, I know you ain't never looked at it like that, but I look at things a whole lot of different ways than other people do. So that's why you in here. So you can learn things and see things that you didn't see before. So that you can hear things that you hadn't heard before. What no eye has seen, no ear has heard, nor any heart had ever conceived. So this is what you are getting now. As I told you, and you heard a white man come in here the other evening and prove that I told you the truth. When I unmuted him, he first tried to act like he had a question. And when I answered him in a way that made you see that he was asking me something that he never should have asked me, it was up to him to determine whether I was like Farrakhan. Do you understand? Not up to me. He the one listening. I didn't hear you. So, when he saw that he was in over his head, the only thing he could do is curse and get nasty. And so Allah told me what to do with them that do that. He said, cast into hell every ungrateful, rebellious one. He followed every rebellious devil. What kind of people follow rebellion? Other rebellious people. Is that right? And now I'm going to tell you something. You thought all of them people was following Donald Trump. When, it is, the word follow has many connotations. You know, you played follow the leader. You got on your bicycle and played follow the leader, or skates and follow the leader. Well, in actuality, it was saying copy what you see the leader do. The one that's in front. Copy what the one in front of you do. Is that right? Because you found out that he wasn't really their leader when he told them, well, go on and take the vaccination. And they booed him. And they weren't going to take that vaccination. You know, you can't even give a person that Allah intends to destroy, you can't give them good advice. Well, you can offer them good advice, but they ain't going to take it. I'll show you an example. Moses, you go down there and you tell Pharaoh to let my people go. But I'm going to harden his heart that he will not accept you telling him that. Do you understand? So if God want to show you he's God, he can do that. He do it all the time. He say what is going to happen, and then it happens. Let me show you. Jesus told Peter, he said, lovest thou me, Peter? You give your life for me? He said, before the cock crow, you're going to be done denying me 3 times. No, Lord, I ain't going to never deny. And before the cock crowed, Peter denied him 3 times. He knew Peter better than Peter knew Peter. Is that right? Yeah. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad told Farrakhan, he said, when they was praising Farrakhan and everything, some of the ministers, the messenger hit the table and said, yes, he's very well known, all right. So that when he turns hypocrite on me, the whole world will see him. And now you look at him doing things and saying things that you would have thought he had never heard the teachings of Islam before. That's the one thing that you find in the Word of God is consistency. Consistency, what's another word for consistency? Continuity. Continuance. Not, as the book says, for I am the Lord and I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob, not yet consumed. What is that? Because they was given 6,000 years and that wasn't going to be taken back. But at the end of 6,000 years, then shall that wicked one be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. You see, it's all falling in line now, falling in place now. Like a puzzle that you get down to the last few pieces and there's no doubt about where they go. Do you understand? That's a happy moment, ain't it? Now you see why I be laughing all the time. Now let's see here. It says, I will set no wicked thing before mine eyes. I hate the work of them that turn aside. It shall not cleave to me. A froward heart shall depart from me. I will not know a wicked person. Meaning I will not get into, as the Holy Quran says, take not for intimate friends those other than your people. Other than your own people. Take not for intimate friends. You don't want to get to know nobody that well where you start sharing all of your... You know what they call it when you in the government and you get into intimate friendships with people other than your country? They call that treason. You understand? You ain't got no business sharing your intimate, your what they found in them papers, at boxes full of classified material, intimate material, at Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago house. What are you doing with that in his basement down at the house? No. So, it says, a froward heart shall depart from me. I will not know a wicked person. Whoso privately slandereth his neighbor, him will I cut off. Him that, he that lies on his neighbor. Huh? What did they do to Joe Biden? Lied on him about the presidency. Huh? Yeah. Say, him will I cut off. Him that hath a high look. These 6 things doth the Lord hate. Yeah, 7 are an abomination unto him. What's the first one? A high look. Huh? I tell you what, next time you're trying to teach somebody or tell somebody something or admonish somebody about something, and you see a look on their face that tells you that they don't like what you're saying, and you tell me if you like that. Did you like to see that? No, you didn't like to see that. You felt like busting them in the mouth. Huh? So, or you talking to somebody and then they sitting there folding their arms while I'm... You don't be folding your arms when I'm sitting up talking to you, correcting you. I'll tell you to get your behind out of my face. The body don't lie. The mouth and the mind lies. But the body tell the truth. So anyway, it says, mine eyes shall be upon the faithful of the land. Yes. The light of the body is the what? Mine eyes shall be upon the faithful of the land. You see? All of the eyes were the seers, the prophets. And everyone that is faithful, they shall have the eyes upon them. Do you understand? And it said, they shall not walk blindly. Their steps are ordered by the Lord. Then it says, mine eyes shall be upon the faithful of the land, that they may dwell with me. He that walketh in a perfect way, he shall serve me. How can you walk in a perfect way? Well, because now we see in part and we prophesy in part. But when that which is perfect is come, that which is in part shall be done away, shall be fulfilled. And they shall all be taught of God. That's what the book says. And when you've been taught of God, then you can walk in a perfect way. Is that right? And it says, it says, he that walketh in a perfect way, he shall serve me. What did Jesus say? The devil asked Jesus to fall down and worship him. And Jesus said, get thee behind me, Satan. For it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shalt thou serve. Huh? Okay, so be careful who you following. I told you, don't let nothing come between us. When you do, you be right out there with the rest of them that let something come between me and them. Never forget that. And I'm still going to be the Son of Man. And ain't nothing going to be done changed except that you're going to be on the outside with the dogs instead of on the inside with mercy. So, he that worketh deceit, children, y'all listen. He that worketh deceit, that's what a liar is. He's a deceiver. He that worketh deceit shall not dwell within my house. He that telleth lies shall not tarry in my sight. Why you think don't nobody like to come in here and talk to me no more? Most of these people in this world just lie. Bunch of liars. Everyone is an hypocrite and an evildoer, and every mouth speaks foolishness. Somebody's typing something? They can hear me twice? Well, if you can hear me twice. Well, they need to probably turn their computer. Yeah, all right. I will early destroy all the wicked of the land. You know what early means? The beginning of the Sabbath day. That's the early part of the day, the morning. That's why it's called the great and dreadful day. The wicked are being destroyed now. I told you, you finna start seeing people dying by the hundreds of thousands. And I did promise that I was going to try to help you. Allah told me to try to warn you. So now I want to give you again. I gave you the answer to all of these guns. I gave you the answer to how to put an end to the carnage. Tell me something. When you walk into, if you walk into a wilderness, a jungle, where, they love to talk about Africa and some of the jungles of Africa. Well, okay. When you walk into the jungle, what do you expect to find? If you go to the swamp in Louisiana, don't you look for alligators? I didn't hear you. Snakes? Water moccasins? I mean, let's just let's be honest now. When you walk into the jungles of Africa, you get a picture of lions, tigers, bears, hyenas, and cheetahs, leopards, boa constrictors. What's that black mamba? Huh? It's mamba, black mamba. That's the death incarnate. that's what they call that one. You saw it on what's the name? Yeah, Kill Bill. But man, you got to watch out. Is that right? Because you are what? You know you're in a jungle. Okay. Of course, now when you walking down the street in your neighborhood, I mean, you don't expect to see no lion coming after you. You don't expect to see no tigers, no hyenas. And the worst you expect to see is a dog. And if he out there on the street, he's a mutt, because ain't no, you know, he more scared of you than you is him. Unless he got rabies or something. Then he's out of his mind and got to be put down. Is that right? But when the last time you walked down the street and saw a rabies dog, a rabid dog? You don't. Do you understand? So, I was listening to Michael Moore, and he was talking to, I think that was Chris Hayes. And Chris Hayes and he were having a conversation about cigarettes and comparing it to, you know, and saying, well, there was a time when you would have thought you couldn't have told people that they couldn't smoke in a bar and all of these kind of things. And yet, now, if people want to smoke, they can have all the cigarettes they want, but there's only certain places where they can smoke them. And so regardless to who brought the idea first, that's not important. The idea it's like gold. Truth is like gold. You may have found it first. I may have found it first. But I didn't make it gold. It was gold before I found it. The truth was the truth before it was presented. And so long as you remember that, it won't make you no difference what mouth the solution to your problem came from. You will accept that solution. If you're thirsty, and really thirsty, you don't care who bring you water. You just want the water. You know they didn't invent water. But you were sure glad that they had some. Is that right? So, you all see that you're not going to be honest enough to be truthful about what the Second Amendment says. The Second Amendment is not vague. It's people just have made it vague. Let me say that again. The Second Amendment is not vague. It has just been made vague by crooks who have made you so dumb that you can't argue with them. Now, we know about crooks who make you dumb, so dumb that you can't argue with them. That's what they did to us. They did that to the black man and woman of America. They breeded us like they do cattle. That is history. It ain't now one of us walking around here that ain't seen somebody that could have passed for our twin. You know, I mean, that's slavery. That's what, you know. And after they made fathers produce offspring by their own daughters like they do horses and cattle and stuff, they will breed them that way. Call them stud horse. Huh? Okay. That's what they did us. And then they took the babies and raised them up ignorant. Didn't teach them nothing but how to serve them. And that's what you notice even now. That stigma is still with us. We tell our children, many of us still tell our children, go to school so you can come out and get a good job. That's just another way of saying go to school and learn something that will please master so you can come out and he will want you to work for him. Of course, you don't say it like that because then you feel shame. So you've learned to say it in a way that it don't make you shame. Then you hate me for standing up here talking about it. That nigga get on my nerves. That's what I, you know. Well, what's going to happen when you die? That's some of the first questions I got when they first met me. They want me to hurry up and die so they can go back with their boss. Huh? That's all right. I understand. But the fact of the matter is, the answer. Let's check the Second Amendment out. It starts off with these words: a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of the state. When you talk about I'll show you an example. When they talk about state and country, they talking about the same thing there. You have to understand something. You notice, when you say a man is a statesman, that's just another way of saying he's a patriotic servant of whatever nation he's a member of. He's a statesman. Do you understand? Okay. Now, this forum that I'm talking in is not bigoted. If you disagree with something I say, raise your hand. That's all you got to do. Press 5* if you in the 601 conference room, or press *6 if you in the 717. And the brother will see your hand go. You'll see them unmute. In there, right? Okay. And we will let you argue. If I couldn't discuss, if I wasn't ready to discuss with you what I'm saying, I wouldn't. Just a moment. If I wasn't ready to discuss with you what I'm saying, I wouldn't say it. I have yet to meet a teacher that opened up a discussion, a topic in class that they wasn't willing to discuss with the student. Now, if you know of one, tell me when that happened to you. That's what teaching is. It's bringing up topics for discussion and then talking it over. Is that right? Yeah, I know that's right. So, so now the Second Amendment, it prefaces the right to bear arms and keep and bear arms. It prefaces it with the words, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of the state. The right of the people to keep and to bear arms shall not be infringed. You notice, as I told you, the police department, the National Guard, the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marine Corps, there's no regulations as far as them, what weapons they can have and what weapons they can't have. Whatever weapon they decide they need, the Defense Department can buy it. You understand? And they can keep it on base. And when necessary, they can go to the armory and bear arms. To keep means to store. So, it goes without saying that, let me show you something. You got lawyers out there. I dare you to come in here as a lawyer and come on in here and show me that I'm misinterpreting the Constitution. So let me get this straight. I'm the only man that can interpret the Word of God, but I'm messing up when I'm interpreting something that's lower than that. The framers of the Constitution made it clear who they was talking about when they said a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of the state. The right of the people of that militia to keep and to bear arms shall not be infringed. Huh? So, but, you remember I told you war is big business. War is the biggest business on the planet. Man, do you know of something that you sell one of them and become a millionaire? Just one Phantom, one of them F-16, F-15 fighter jets, you could retire, man. If you could just get the money off of one of them. So every time one gets shot down, that's another so many millions of dollars got to replace it. Huh? So that's big business. How much? $87 million, and that's for the sticker prize. Now, we ain't gonna even talk about the extras that you can add on to it and get more. Huh? $87 million for a fighter jet. War is big business, ain't it? Now, what do you do when peace start happening between nations and you can't get them fighting with each other no more? What do the gun manufacturers do? The Second Amendment. They're trying to take our guns. They're trying to take our guns. Why? They need all the customers they can get now to stay in business. Huh? So you see what the thing is, they got to get you to killing each other and thinking you need to kill each other, and so they can sell more weapons. They don't care. This is all about, you notice when people are drowning, they can't worry about who over there drowning because they drowning too. And so it's every man for himself and God for his own. Is that what they even start eating each other? I'm just telling you, this is some rough stuff. So let me tell you, since you're not going to stop people from buying guns, okay, you didn't stop people from buying cigarettes. You just made sure you stopped them from being able to smoke them where it harms other people to be breathing in that smoke. If they want to breathe it in on their own, that's them. But they ain't got no right to make you breathe it. Huh? Okay. I told you way back in 16 that if you want to put a stop to all of these murders, do like they did. I showed you on Tombstone. I didn't invent the idea. The man was nailing up a sign, and they was all mad because he wasn't going. He walked out on the street, and people was riding through the street shooting, running over babies almost with their horses. And when Virgil saw that, Virgil Earp, he joined, he accepted the job of sheriff. And Wyatt told him, what you want to do that for? We can't do this. And Virgil said, it's like somebody slapped me in the face. I'm walking through this town like a damn vulture. Just looking at all this carnage here and ignoring it. And there got to be some law and order. And so he became the sheriff. First thing he did was put up a sign. And they was all standing up out there mad because it said no firearms in the city limits. And he told him, he said, I'm not saying you can't have a gun. I'm not saying that you can't carry a gun. I'm only saying that when you in this city, you can't carry a gun. Do you understand? You know why? If you're in a jungle, you need a gun. Because lions and tigers and stuff out there. What you need a gun for in a city for? You say, I need protection. Well, that's what you got a police force for. The police should be the only one with guns. The only ones that have guns, you should know who they are. You should know the crooks and you should know the police. How do you know the crooks from the police? In a civilized society, the police are in uniform and they have guns. Those who are not police but have a gun, that's your crook. Do you understand? Because the law says he ain't supposed to have that in the city. Who wants to sit down in a restaurant and eat with all of this foolishness that's been going on? Murders of babies in classrooms. Cowards dressing up in what you call body armor to go in an elementary school to murder babies. To show you what they think of, this is somebody who's absolutely a coward. person who go and take their gun to go to unarmed people and talk about they fighting war against them. That's what Putin was right. There wasn't no war against Ukraine. They just got surprised that Ukraine had an army that was willing to fight and defend their people. Even though they didn't have enough to defend their people as equals to Russia, they still put up a fight. And they still fighting. And I pray Allah that the rest of the world send help to them. So, cowards go and arm yourself to the teeth and put on body armor. What you scared? Somebody gonna spit on you? But that's the kind of world you live in. So what you need to do, every state in the union needs to tell people, you ought to go buy all the weapons you want, man. Just whatever is for sale. But don't bring none of it into the city. Not in your car, not on your person, not nowhere in the city do we want to see you walking around here with a weapon. Because that tells us that you are up to no good. So that's how you first you begin to put a stop to all of this murder from all of these racist dogs. What do dogs mean? Despisers of God. Yes. It's no way that you can claim that you love God. As the book said, while you hate your brother that you walk with daily. Huh? What's wrong? The air's on. You want to turn it down some more? Okay. So I want you to think over these things. And don't say that we didn't try to tell you. We tried to warn you. You just didn't listen. Now that's the literal truth. We did try to warn you. So, before I go to another subject, now let's go to this Make America Great Again. What is it, son? Huh? Y'all ready to go? Go ahead. There is no way that Make America Great Again means anything but evil. Because in the first place, it's just like when they gave you the definition of it. You know, they was being honest when they said that means make America white again. Do you understand? When was America ever white? White people didn't build this country. Slaves built it. You went and got when it was white. When it was white, you didn't seem like you could do nothing for yourself. You had to go get black people to come and do your work for you. So when was you ever lily white? Come on, talk to me. All you that's keep talking about what the white man, this is the white man's country. What do you say when somebody asks you, well, what about them Native Americans that you found here when you got here? Whose country is that? Where do they belong? where do they belong? Do they belong here? You seem to think they belongs here, and they was black people. You look at a picture of the real Geronimo, he look just like any other black man. Especially the black man from India. Do you understand? So when they say make America great again, if that means make America white again, America ain't never been white. Y'all, when you had all white people here, you wasn't satisfied. You went and forced black people to come here. You lying devils. You don't care what you go out and tell your stupid. You make your own people stupid. Because if you told them the truth, you know that they would not want no parts of you. Your children would turn on you if you told them the truth. So what you do, you make up lies, just like you told that boy Dylan Roof that black man was raping white women. Now that's what you told him. And what you actually did was projected onto him what you all had did to us. You ain't got no history of black men raping white women. You got a history of lying and saying black men rape white women when you wanted to murder them. But your day is here now. You got to answer for all the lies you've been telling. Just like I tell white children, tell your daddy to come in here and present his evidence of the inferiority and inhumanity that black men have shown towards in relationship to white people. Come in here and talk to me in front of your child. And keep a civil tongue in your head, if you know how. And I will show your child that you're nothing but a liar. All of your evils and all of your weaknesses is actually what you've been projecting onto us, to me and my people. I know why you call people SOBs. That you even saw that wasn't just, that didn't originate him talking about us. He's talking about each other. I know what a bitch is. A bitch is a female dog. I know what you've been doing behind closed doors. Thinking nobody knows. I know. You are. I remember the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, why does the devil keep us apart from his social and political equality? It is because he does not want us to know how filthy he is in all of his affairs. So I'm just sick of it now. Tired of you scapegoating us. I'm tired of you just coming out and just lying on us. You sit up there and watch the man commit murder in a policeman's uniform, choke the life out of a man right there in front of you, and you ain't yet asked for no death penalty. Y'all, man, you are a piece of work. So, yeah. Make America great again. Code language for white supremacy. If he thought he was so supreme, why he got to hide? Why don't he come on out here and talk to me? Huh? Supreme idiot. A murderer. That's what he's supreme at. Murder. Yeah. And he called it war. Huh? Ain't that something? Man declare war on people that ain't fighting him. And he said he killing them before they kill him. Do you understand? Then rape the women. He over there raping the people, raping the women in Ukraine. Huh? And they white women. And I'm going to tell you something. Were the laws, let me show you the truth of what I'm saying to you, brother and sister. When we were absolutely enslaved, and they had laws in the colonies and laws in this country, wasn't rape on their law books? Well, who was doing the raping before they started accusing us? Who was doing the raping? We see who do the raping. They just showed you in some of the news clips that them white soldiers, them Ukrainian, them Russian soldiers, murdering the men and raping the women. I'm a black man, and I can speak with authority on how a black man feels about wanting to force himself on somebody that don't want him. I can't do that. I mean, that just don't even come into my mind. That going over there raping somebody. What's wrong with you? I don't even want you to bring me nothing that you don't want to give me. Nothing. Your body and nothing else. Go on, keep it. It's sad. It is really sad. No wonder the scripture called you a beast. And everybody who follow you start acting like you. The book says, I beheld in the midst of the four beasts. Yeah. But, you know, we are here to now try to get you to discard all that. The only way you're going to discard that kind of action is you got to discard those kind of thoughts. And you cannot get rid of a mind with a bullet. You can only get rid of a mind with a greater mind. Do you understand? When you reach, the more enlightened your mind is, the more dignified you become. And pretty soon, undignified actions no longer appeal to you. Kind of like a caterpillar and a butterfly. When he was a caterpillar, he ate up leaves, got in your flowers, and tore them up and did some of everything. But when he changed, he was born again. And he came out no longer a creature that harmed your plants, but actually helped to preserve them. Do you understand? He makes up for the damage he did. He more than compensates for the damage that he did. You see? I want you to think over these things that I'm sharing with you. And you will find that what I'm sharing with you is nothing but the truth. But as I told you, my advice that I give you, my warnings, won't do you no good if Allah intends to destroy you. You see? You are in the day of judgment, that you are invited to meet with Allah, to agree with Allah. As in, I will make for the man and help meet for him, agreeable for him. Well, those who reject the meeting with Allah, who reject the meeting with us, well, ain't nothing you can do about that. They bring on themselves destruction. Because if you reject the meeting, the agreeing with the truth, the only thing that's left for you to agree with is a lie. Falsehood. Huh? Misrepresentation of reality. That's why we call it falsehood. You see? Your understanding of a thing is what you notice. You say, well, I have authority over this or over that. Well, if you have authority over it, then you have a hood over it. Now, what kind of hood is it that you have over it, though? Is it true or is it a falsehood? Huh? Yes. And so you have people who think that they can exercise permanent dominion over others by terrorizing others. They are living under a falsehood, because human beings are 75% approximately water. And wickedness is like fire. When you do wicked things and evil things to people, it's like, when you do it to people, it's like putting fire to water. Well, you'll notice the first thing you see happening when that water really starts heating up, it starts steaming. You can look at people sometime and look in their eyes and tell that they're steaming mad at you. And well, you think the book tells me, it says, be not afraid of their looks, nor their words. Huh? When you tell wicked people the truth, they get mad. But the truth is purifying them, if you understand what I'm saying. You see, they are actually seeing the truth and they are angry at the truth. That's what they're steaming about. Now, this is what happens when you got a piece of wood, but it's got water in it, and you put fire to it, it lay in there steaming. See, all of it, when you reject the meeting with the truth, when you decide you're not going to agree with the truth and change, you're like that log in fire there. You reject the truth, so the truth begins to leave you, like steam leaving that log. And when all of the steam stops, then the fire starts consuming the log. You understand? And this is what's happening with the people now. You see? The Word of God is a consuming fire. And that's another reason I'm called the Son of Man. The Son is a ball of fire. So I'm here to try to save as many of you as I can. That's what Allah made me. He says, the Son of Man came not to destroy men's lives, but to save them. That's what's written. Save them how? By giving them the truth. By showing them that the lifestyle that they have chosen to live is actually wickedness that has been masquerading itself as decency. You understand? And so this is what, you notice, they got an old, I remember this Minister Abdul Kareem, he gave us a story once. He said, there's an old story that truth and lie went swimming one day, and lie got out and put on truth's clothes. And somebody said, look, here come truth. And somebody else said, no. That's a lie dressed up in truth's clothes. And he said, now there come naked truth then. Yeah. The idea was, as the messenger said, don't tell the truth and then turn around and nullify the truth by trying to dress it up to suit the listener. Do you understand? You know, you tell people things, well, really what I meant was, I meant what I said. And if they didn't understand me, they wouldn't be mad. They understood me. That's why they're mad. People generally get mad at you when you tell them something that condemns them or condemns something that they are doing. If they're not intending to do right, they get mad. You understand? You see? So, you know, I take the sting out of it. Out of any complaint that people have against me, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad showed me how to take away the complaints. He said, look what I did. I offered people $10,000 in my life if they could prove that I was teaching a lie. So anybody who said that what he was teaching was wrong or hate or whatever, they said that to everybody but him. They didn't come in there and talk to him. When somebody tried to talk to him, she confused herself. She asked him, well, what do you teach, love or hate? You remember that? And he said, you be the judge yourself to what I'm teaching. Well, she said, well, I can see that you teach love, but it seemed to me that you teach hate too. you understand? And but when she was, after she said that, she didn't bring no evidence that he was teaching hate. All she brought was evidence that she hated to hear the truth that he was teaching. Do you understand? And so, you know, you can't call the teachings hate just because you hate to hear it. No, that don't work. And when I ask white people, I mean, we call them devils because that's what Allah revealed them to be. But when I call them devils, they don't call me a hate teacher. You can't even find no black person coming here now to talk about I'm teaching hate. No, I'm not teaching hate. I'm teaching the truth. But at the same time, I teach justice. You can't punish them for being the devil because that's what God made them. That's not what they're going to be punished for. They're not going to be destroyed because they devils. They're going to be destroyed because they didn't want to change. See, they was given 6 days to be devils. 6,000 years. I mean, it's just like I tell you what. You seen Batman, right? You seen Superman. Okay, now in the movie, he's Superman. Do you understand? I mean, and he gonna be Superman as long as that movie is being shot, as long as it's being made. When he show up on that stage, he got to get into character. He's Superman or he's Batman. Do you understand? But now that's only going to be until the movie is finished. Once the movie, the script, the screenplay is finished, he go back to being, a regular human being. you understand? See, the white man was to be the devil for 6,000 years. Do you understand? That's what we cast him in. Devil. Cursed. And we did it because we was wanting to produce a more complete mind. He set up America to produce a more complete union. Do you understand? Well, okay. We made the devil to produce a more complete mind in humanity. And so his maker told him, when he told his maker, he said, let's go here and read it so you can see that the history of him is chronicalized. This is the 15th chapter of the Holy Quran, and this is the 39th verse where he was talking with his maker. He said, this the devil talking, he said, my Lord, as thou hast judged me to be erring, I shall certainly make evil fair seeming to them on earth, and I shall cause them all to deviate, except thy servants from among them, the purified ones. Huh? All right. And so his maker told him, he said, this is a right way with me for you. And as regards to my servants, you have no authority over them except such of the deviators as will follow you. Huh? And surely hell, misunderstanding, is the promised place for them all. Huh? It has 7 gates. These 6 things doth the Lord hate. Yeah, 7 are an abomination to him. It has 7 gates. Pride, being a liar, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood. 7 gates. Do you understand? And for each gate is an appointed portion of them. You know, I was thinking about the term emperor. You notice in the Star Wars, the villain was called the Emperor. You see, and when you look up the term emporium, then you discover that it has a wide range of things, and it's a kind of humorous term, as they say, because wide is the gate that leads to destruction. And so, but anyway, and so an emperor is that wicked one. Do you understand? And so words are something. But anyway, I remember the messenger said he used to, when Master Farad Muhammad gave him 104 books to find and study, and he found some of them on Freemasonry, and he used to have to laugh sometimes over some of the stuff that was in there. And that's the way it is with me. You know, the more I look into the meaning of words, sometimes Allah just give them to me, like Caucasian. You know, you can't find that readily in the dictionary, but so Allah gave it to me. It means made Asian, you see. And